Hello and welcome to an Everyday Canines video. This is the trick training series, and in this episode we're looking at backing up through between objects. So in this trick we've building on from our 2-on 2-off behaviour, which is then building to the backing up behaviour, and now we're looking at moving that behaviour on to the next level, which is where we ask them to back up between objects. This is something, if you do doggy parkour, this is a trick you would do in that. You'd get them to back up between, say, trees or obstacles in the environment to earn your doggy parkour title. In terms of other dog sports, it probably hasn't got a great deal of value as such. However, it is giving your dog a greater awareness of their body, and also it's giving them confidence to do behaviours. And we're always looking to build our dog's confidence with anything we do. And by getting them to offer this behaviour, what we're doing is teaching them that even though there's something obstacle slightly different in the environment, you can still do a behaviour I've asked. So it's all about proving, building confidence. So what I'm doing is I've put a box here, it's a wooden box, and what I really want to do is I want to ask Swift to back up between the chair and the box. Now this box isn't that near her, there's quite a big gap. In fact, she could probably almost stand frontwards between it. I haven't got a vast amount of room here. I would rather be doing this obviously in a longer hall, but this is where we are for filming. So what I'm going to do is ask for, I didn't even ask for it, but look, she saw the hand was up, she did it. So that wasn't a big deal, was it, Swift? Back, back. She's backed up through what is effectively a narrow space. Now for some dogs, that's quite a big issue. Swift made it look easy. When I tried to do this with Merlin, he was very conscious of the space. He didn't like the fact there was something encroaching on his space and limiting his sideways movement. So with him, I had to start with the object further out and then move it in. So we've now had Swift do it, and that's quite wide. To be honest with you, she's not even touching the box. So if I get you to come out, my maid, I'm going to move it in a bit. Okay, and now I'm going to bring her forward. Now, of course, Swift does do agility, she does weave poles and stuff. So I suppose for her, but then she does know about doing obstacles with, going through obstacles. But then Merlin does that as well, so who knows. Okay, ready? Back. So you can see that was no real big deal. Back. Good girl. This is one of the tricks you do if you're doing your dog trick title, do more with your dogs. This is one of the tricks you would do. Okay, back. So you can see no big deal there, break. I'm going to make it ever so slightly tighter, and I'm going to move it in a little bit so she actually has to think about. So can you see, not much space, but I am here so that she's now going to have to thread herself backwards between that obstacle. Ready? Back. Yeah, good girl. I didn't want you to stop, but good. Okay, ready? Back. Back. Yes, good girl. Get it. Back, back, yes, good girl. So you can see that even though she's got to sort of think about where she's got to go back, she's got to think about where the box is, it's a narrow gap, she's not having any problem. Back. Now it should be noted that I have worked an awful lot with Swift on her rear end awareness for agility, her proprioception. So that is possibly why she finds this quite straightforward and easy. Let's see what happens if we change to a different dog. Right, so let's see what Sparrow does. Sparrow doesn't have as neat a backup. So can you go back? Back. Back. Good girl. So you can see slight hesitancy. Back. Yes. Back. Good girl. But once she's getting the idea, back. She's not having any issue with that. Ready? Back. Good girl. And again, this is about them understanding where the hind legs are. Back. And you're saying, why do we need to worry about where their hind legs are? Back. Now, the interesting thing about dogs, yeah, I know you figured it out. I know you figured it out. I know. The interesting thing about dogs, down, is that they carry the majority of their weight on their front legs. The whole time. This is natural, this is normal. They carry most of their weight. So they don't tend to carry so much weight on their back legs. This is why they have a better understanding of their front legs to their back legs. However, because they can carry their weight well on their front legs. This can cause them, if there's any problem with their back end, in Sparrow's case she's got luxating patella, which is loose knees, they can start to overcompensate by putting more and more weight on the front end and less on the back end. They stop using the back end. They lose the idea of how they use the back end. And one of the things we did when she was doing her physio was we actually had to get her to think about those back feet again better and think about using them independently so we could get them working again, get those knees strengthened up. We did that by using different surfaces and getting to walk about it, so she was really engaging those paws. So something like this is a similar concept. You're getting them to think about their back legs, helping them to build a bit more muscle and strength in that back end, and just think about their coordination better. So it's something that, it can be really good. And because it's a cool little trick to play, we could do this by making a line of chairs. I've done that. We could, and so they could actually go through the whole line of chairs. We've done that. So things like this, it's a fun game to play with a dog, but also does have a purpose because it is getting them to think about their rear end awareness, what their hind legs are doing, and helping a dog if they do start to overcompensate and start to use their front legs too much and not carry their weight properly on their back end. It's a really easy trick to do. You can see all the stages we've built on. You can see how we've built it up if you followed the episode. If you haven't and you've just come straight to this one, please take a look at the 2 on 2 off trick and the backup trick, because those will help you with this trick. And really this is just a progression, and you can see how easy it was for the girls to just get there. If you have any problems with this one and your dog is very reluctant to go through a narrow space, don't forget, move the box or the object out, make that space wider, build that confidence, then bring it in. I hope you've enjoyed this trick. Hello. I hope you've enjoyed this trick and this video from Everyday Canines. If you have, you might like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram. I hope to see you all again very, very soon.